Hello everybody, Ghost Critic here with March's, it is March isn't it? March's viewer choice video. For those of you who don't know, every month I ask you guys to recommend me something to read, and this month I chose this tomb and a half. It is Girls on Image by the Luna Brothers. They also did The Sword and Ultra, which Agent42q Matt also suggested, but I plumped for this one. I finally finished it. Oh my goodness. This is the complete collection, so it collects all the 4 trades that you can get of this. So if you don't want to fork out for the whole lot because you're not sure whether you like it or not, you can get it in separate trades. So just looking at the back, volume 1 is called Conception, 2 is called Emergence, 3 is called Survival, and the 4th is called Extinction. Where do I start with this book? My goodness. You know Cyndi Lauper? Yeah? Pop songstrel of the 80s said girls just want to have fun. I don't think she was talking about these girls in here, though their kind of fun, well, I don't know. How do I explain this book quite succinctly, given that there are 4 lots of books in here? I mean, basically you've got naked girls running around this town who lay eggs that turn into clones of the girls that are running around naked in this town. You have a giant sperm that lands in a cornfield and sucks people up via its tail, and then you have this impenetrable bubble that lands right around the town. No one can get in, no one can get out. These town people are trapped. Now, if naked girls, giant sperms and an impenetrable force bubble doesn't grab you, you might as well stop now. Oh, how do I begin? Your main character is Ethan, who's kind of a teenage boy full of testosterone, always thinking about girls, but doesn't really have that great a luck with them. And the beginning chapter has him in the bar, and he just basically kicks off. He just starts this huge argument with all the townsfolk that are in the bar at the time, and gives them some home truths about their lives. And he gets thrown out of the bar, and on his way home, as he's driving along, he finds the first of these girls running out the forest, the wood, naked. So he thinks at first she's just running away from something. She's scared, she's not talking, so he takes her back to his home to look after her. Nothing pervy yet. This is a very highly sexual book. This is definitely a mature readers only. And what? It's really difficult to describe. The night progresses and he goes to sleep. Nothing untoward happens until the morning, and then they both have sex. And this is where she suddenly lays these eggs. No, literally, they are eggs. And they're all different sizes, big ones, small ones, medium-sized ones, but they're all eggs, and she has laid them. I can't get this point across more than I can. She's a girl, she's naked, she's laying eggs. These eggs hatch, and the girls come out, fully formed, exactly the same as the first girl. They're like clones. And for some reason, they all start attacking the women of the town. They leave the men alone. In fact, they try and protect the men throughout. So, lucky in that respect. But they don't like the other females in the town. And again, highly sexual, highly violent. there's a lot of violence in this book. Blood and guts, hacking and slashing, rifles going off, slapping, thumping, pulling hair. Oh, there's lots of pulling hair. And it's just a really exciting ride. It does kind of sound frivolous when I'm saying all this, and I really don't mean it to be, because I think the Luna brothers are definitely trying to make some points. Some quite heavy themes go through the book, not least of obviously sex and how it could be good and bad. There's a lot about religion in there, sexuality in general. The town, it all looks like a really nice town. Everyone gets on with each other, everyone knows each other, but it's that kind of David Lynchian kind of film where, you know, everything looks nice on the surface but just bubbling underneath behind closed doors. Everyone has problems. Ranging from, you know, a marriage that has basically come to its end, but neither of them will kind of leave. You've got the nagging wife and the put upon husband who's kind of demasculated in a sense by his wife, and just sits there doing nothing, just being pretty worthless throughout most of the book until later on. Again, I don't really want to delve into the story of it because I just don't want to spoil a lot of what goes on in here. There's, you know, the couple that are having a baby, and he loves his wife so much that, you know, he won't let her do anything. So there's that kind of, it's kind of like the opposite way round to the married couple who have been married for ages and ages and have had kids. You have now the kind of the male dominant character. While he thinks he's protecting his wife, he's actually taking a lot of her power away in her decision making. What eventually happens through the story, once this giant sperm kind of lands in this cornfield by a farm, this huge bubble entraps them all, so they can't get out. It destroys all kind of ways out, like the bridge across gets crushed by this bubble coming down, and there's just no way out. And it's very much a story about surviving. They obviously, no food now can get in, the electricity's been cut off, water supplies are going to start diminishing. So it's very much a book about survival, in the sense that, you know, like in The Walking Dead, it did remind me very much of The Walking Dead, in a sense that, you know, The Walking Dead could quite easily and quite lazily be described as a book about zombies. It's a zombie book, but it's not. It's about the characterization and the struggles that band of that group community of people go through to survive. And it's very much the same in Girls. Yes, you have all these naked girls running around killing anything, any of the female townsfolk, and having sex with all the men. But in fact, the story is very much about the interactions between, you know, the various couples, just males and females in general. That is a huge theme going through this. And no one really comes out on top. You know, the men are just as bad as the women are just as bad as the men. They both make very bad decisions. No one comes out looking rosy in this book. Certainly from the start, from this townsfolk, not everyone survives. Let's see, what else can I say about this book? The artwork, if you're a fan of Morning Glories, you would probably pick up on it. It's very much that kind of style, but a lot simpler. The artwork still is fine. It's a good. All the characters have all their own personalities and looks, and I think it is, which one of the Luna brothers is it? I can't Jonathan Luna. He did most of the art on this. Jonathan Luna, you know, he gives all the characters the specific, you know, looks and facial expressions are there as well. So it's never bland. So while I say it's a simpler version of Morning Glories, it's still within its own right a very, very good book, just purely from the artwork. I guess the thing that really kind of would put people off, and not necessarily put people off, but will disappoint people by the end, is despite all these themes going through and basically the denouement of the book, the ending of the book, you are left with a lot of questions unanswered. You know, why do these girls only attack the females? Why did this sperm fall to Earth anyway? Why could no one get in and out of the bubble? There's so many questions within these, but it almost kind of felt I needed just a little bit more answers without leaving it so far up in the air. I mean, at the end, again, I don't want to spoil the ending. No, I can't. The ending is, you expect more from it. You want a final answer about why, where, who, you know, all the words. But still, I thought it was a great read. I went right through the book. It was hard. It took me, you know, every time I picked it up, I didn't really want to put it back down. It's a real page turner, very tense in parts, and you are just wondering how in the world is this going to end. And I suppose really the Luna brothers could only do what they did at the end. Still very highly recommended. Again, I'd say if you don't want to pick it up as a whole trade with the whole story in, 24 issues worth, pick them up singly in their volumes, so you've got 4 volumes to pick up. I think once you have read volume 1, you will really enjoy this and want to pick up the next 2, 3, 4. But just in case, still a great book to read and thoroughly recommended to pick up if you want something a bit odd. It's not superhero. If you like The Walking Dead, if you like Morning Glories, if you like, you know, character driven storylines rather than someone using powers, then this is definitely the book for you. Thank you, Matt, Agent42q, for highlighting this book to me. And so we are on to April's viewer's choice. So the theme I thought for April's book choice, basically I want you to pick one of your favourite titles or characters or teams, and then I want you to find what you consider to be their definitive storyline. If you were to say, look, this is my favourite superhero, my favourite team, my favourite title, I think you'll enjoy it, but you have to read this story. And this story should encapsulate everything you like about that particular book, title, character. Just to remind you, check that I can get it on trade on Amazon or somewhere equally as cheap. Remember, I'm in the UK. But yeah, let's give that a go. Let's see what recommendations you've got for me for April. With that, I'll sign off. Thank you again, Matt. I hope that was a good review. It's a very difficult book to review that one without spoiling a lot of it. But yeah, thank you. I had fun with that. Bye bye.